This week William went to hospital for epilepsy surgery. We had an early start for this, so got everything ready the night before for a hopefully smooth getaway. It turned out William was up even earlier than needed, at about 4:30, so maybe he sensed that something different was going on. However, he was pretty happy and excited to get ready and head out, so I don't think he really understood what his day would involve. Perhaps he was anticipating a holiday. It certainly seemed this way as he bounced out of the car park and towards our destination. William wasn't so happy when we arrived at the hospital rather than an airport. I had spoken to the hospital learning disability team the day before and was hoping his surgery could be earlier in the day to avoid a big wait and fasting we can't explain to William. We'd also hoped for our own room, but there wasn't one available on the day. We had a very challenging start to our time here, with William screaming and crying nearly constantly. He was also hardly in our ward, not coping with this environment. After asking for the learning disability team a couple of times, someone came to help us, and we were told William's surgery would thankfully be happening soon. He was then actually okay for a little while, settling with some sensory toys he discovered. Before long, things started moving, and we had the anaesthetist and one of the surgeons come to see us. William took part in much of these discussions from my shoulders, but was fairly happy. About an hour and a half after arriving, William went for his surgery. He was to be under general anaesthetic for this, and we had an expected battle to keep the mask on him so he could go under, and then a few hours of alone time for me and my wife while William had his surgery. The procedure was to fit a VNS, or vagus nerve stimulation implant, which works a bit like a pacemaker to provide impulses to a key nerve in the neck. This reduces seizures in many patients, so we were hopeful about the outcome, with medication and previous surgery not really helping William's epilepsy. After a cafe trip and a bit of a wait on the ward, William was back. He was initially very emotional and immediately tried to remove his dressings, which we have to attempt to keep on for 10 days. The learning disability team were really helpful in advising and getting us some spare and alternatively sized dressings, in case we had issues with this. And after his initial angry waking, William slept for 3 hours. On waking again, in the mid-afternoon, he was okay and was finally able to have some breakfast. He was then happy when discharged and told it was home time, which he definitely understood. William's VNS surgery wasn't easy at all, but we got through it, thanks to the kind nursing staff and the great learning disabilities team. We have some concerns about William trying to remove his dressings, but hopefully these can remain in place for at least a few days. We will post an update soon.